Thank you for joining us on Round Road and Bush. I'm Donna Deschenes, and this is Ellen Wright from the Road and Bush Community Center. Each year we offer hundreds of programs for adults and children.
During each episode, we'll highlight an upcoming class or event to let you know what's going on and when. Today we are talking with Barry Bruce of the Barry Bruce Golf Schools, who's going to give us some great golf tips. Stay tuned, we've got a great show planned.
Barry, you've been teaching golf for over 43 years, and you've been at Road and Bush offering classes for more than 8 years.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what is the best way to get started in golf?
The best way, I think, Donna, is to find a program that will teach you the basic fundamentals of the golf swing and some of the other skills like around the green, chipping and putting.
Right.
And also find a program that will also, after you've learned some of the basics ball striking skills, I would find a program that will teach you what to do on a golf course. Because if you're going to take any lessons on how to hit good golf shots, the next step is to get on the golf course. That's why I think most people want to learn to play, is they want to get out on the golf course and enjoy
get
that.
outside in the summer, right.
So you need to really be taught what to do out there.
So Barry, you're going to be offering classes this spring and summer through Road and Bush Community Center. And some of them are Golf for Girls, the Junior Golf Clinic, which is very popular, and the Women's Golf Program. Can you tell us more about the Women's Golf Program?
Yes, I'm going to have those weekday mornings, although I do have a Sunday morning. I think it's at 11:30. And it's for a lot of women that are mothers that bring their kids to the golf school, to the junior clinics. So when the kids are back in school, they would have an opportunity to come down and learn how to play, because we really promote this as a family golf game. And on the Sundays, I'm hoping to get some business women, because golf can be a terrific business tool.
Yeah, it's very social.
So
Yes.
in a typical class of the women's golf group, what would they expect?
We'd first start out with the address position, which is the sample lesson that I'm going to give you and Donna today, Ellen. And then we'd work into the golf swing in the next lesson. The lessons are about an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half long. And then we go up on our practice green for a third lesson and do some chipping and putting. We'd learn a lot about the etiquette of the game. And following that, those would cover the 5 lessons. Following that, we have a program where we take people that want to go to the next step out on the golf course and teach them how to function on a golf course. It isn't just hitting good golf shots that counts in this game. You need to know what you're doing out there. Because I know it can be very nerve-wracking for new golfers. They feel very very stressed going on the golf course. They think everybody's watching them, but they're
Especially if there's people behind you.
And we also
like
teach pace of play and how to keep up with the group in front of you. And for the first couple of years, we stress, don't keep score. Count your good shots. But there's no sense in keeping score. You don't know enough about the rules. And we'd also teach you some of the basic rules so you don't go out and do things that would embarrass yourself. And you wouldn't even know what you're doing, because you may ground your club in a trap, so to speak, or you may step on somebody's line on the putting green. I know you don't know what I'm talking about right now.
Not really.
But we teach that in all our lessons so that people feel comfortable about going out to play.
So that's called etiquette. And so there's a whole etiquette for golf.
Yes, but it isn't a stuffy game. It's not that way at all. But all the years that I've been in this game, and frankly, to divulge a little bit of my age, I've actually been playing and teaching the game and participating in a lot of tournaments over the years for 68 years. Wow. And I started at a very young age. And I know that the benefits that I got as a kid growing up. So that's what I would like to teach. My passion is to teach the game, particularly to new golfers such as yourself.
Right. So it's probably better to start younger, too.
Right.
It can be, but
Yeah.
but there's no age limit. This game doesn't discriminate against somebody's age or gender or anything like that. I think perhaps the only discrimination that golf might feature is attitude. This is a tough game to learn how to play at first, yet it's doable and it's challenging. So you need to have a good attitude, particularly with the patience, and you better have a sense of humor too.
Yeah, well, someone told us that women have better attitudes and more patience, so is
Yes,
that true?
they do. We just led right into that one, didn't we?
You did.
Yes. I find that women are better students than men, frankly, because they do have that patience. A lot of men, I think, and hope I'm not too sexist here, but a lot of men kind of think that they know what to do, and a woman doesn't. A woman really wants to learn, and a man is a lot in a hurry to learn how to play the game well, and they don't have the patience that a woman has.
Yep. So true.
Could you give us a sample lesson?
Sure, that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to give you a lesson on the address position, which is a position you have to get into for every golf shot you make, whether it be hitting an iron, which we're going to do today,
Okay.
or whether it's chipping or putting. That address position is a static position where you use your hands to grip the club, stance, body posture, and you get into that position for just 2 or 3 seconds before you start your swing.
Okay.
Let me ask you two a question. Why do you want to learn to play golf? I ask this of my new students all the time. I know a lot of reasons why people play, but in your case, Donna.
Well, it's just a very social game, and a lot of my friends do play, and they've asked me to play, and I don't know how, so that's why I want to take lessons, just to be able to do it with them.
So one of your reasons would be friendship.
Yeah.
And going out with your friends to play around.
They have
the
so
golf.
much fun, you know. And they always say, "Come on along," and I never do because I've never taken a lesson. So, this would
do you
really
have
help
many
me.
friends that play?
Yeah, I have. Well, I have 4 friends who play, and they play
Okay.
every week during the summer.
Anybody in your family play?
My husband plays a little bit. Yeah.
So another reason people want to get in to actually play the game of golf is for family reasons.
Right.
I know as a young man growing up, a young kid growing up, I should say. I started when I was 6, 7, and 8 years of age. My brother and I, who was a little older than I am by a year and a half, he and I spent many, many hours on the golf
Did
course
you?
as little kids growing up.
Yeah.
We played a lot of golf with our parents because they were both golfers at the time. We actually belonged to the Wenham Golf Club in Wenham, Mass, and we had a family membership there.
Yep.
And so, being brought up in Beverly, which is relatively on the coast, my friends in school were going to the beach. I was going to the golf course, and it's something that I really wanted to do.
Right.
So, family's big, and in fact, in our schools with the kids and their parents playing, we try to promote golf as a family activity where they can participate with them rather than stand on a sideline
Yeah,
or
just
at a-
watch.
on
Yeah.
the rink watching. We want them playing together because I know the benefits that I got growing up.
And
Yep.
there's so
Good.
few sports that are a family sport where you can all do
Yes.
it at the same time.
Exactly. You know, I can think of skiing, probably
Yep.
tennis,
Yeah.
but some of the other
But they're out
sports.
a lot.
Football is
Yeah.
just the kid
Yeah.
out there.
Exactly. So it's something that you can do your whole life. We advertise as golf being the game of a lifetime, which it is.
It is.
I'm in my 70s now, and yet I still play.
Yep.
And I have friends that have been in their 80s that play a pretty darn good game
Oh,
of golf
yeah.
because they
It's
started
great exercise.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
good for them. It keeps them active and everything.
Right.
Being a member of the PGA stands for Professional Golfers Association.
Okay.
The PGA of America, which I've been a member for 32 years now.
Wow.
One of our mantras is to get new people in the game of golf.
Oh, okay.
And my passion is to get new people such as yourselves playing the game of golf.
Yeah.
And over the years that I've been in Billerica, we've had a lot of people start out as new golfers such as you will
Right.
be. And they continue playing. We have tournaments that we run down there for fun. We have a league just for the new golfers and everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's plenty of opportunities in which to get out to play.
Yeah. Good. That's great.
So you'd like to learn a little bit about
Sure. Yeah, I'd
about the
love
address
to.
position?
Right.
Okay, why don't we do
Okay.
that?
All right. Sounds
By
good.
the way, I'm going to have you do the address position with an iron
Okay.
first. I want Ellen to look on and watch.
Okay.
And then I want to show you how to do the address position with a wood. Now, a wood is this club right here.
Okay.
It's kind of a misnomer, which I will explain to you as we go along in these this particular lesson. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm going to show the address position, hitting an iron hit, the first address position. A little later, I'm going to show it with the wood, and it changes just a little bit. It involves a static position with the way you place your hands on the grip, the stance, the body, the stance here where in relation to the ball, and then your body posture. So let me get started and show you this. It should be done very sequentially. Get in a nice routine of setting up to the ball each time, and that would be very helpful. Let's go. Set the club head down behind the ball in a square position, and that means it's aiming towards the target. This is called an open club face. This is called a closed club face. We want to start with the club face perfectly square. The whiteboard represents a line of flight. So, in setting up for the grip, which I think is probably the most important aspect of anybody's good golf technique, put the left hand on first if you're a right-handed player, with the thumb going down the side of the grip. I've taken the liberty to draw a little arrow on here, and if I put my left hand on there correctly, that arrow is going to point back at my right shoulder. Then I need to connect the two hands together. So I let the little finger of the bottom hand, my right hand, interlock with the forefinger of the left, like you see here. When I close up my right hand, you notice the thumb of my left disappears in the palm of my right, so you can't even see it. So the hands are very connected together with no space in between. Once I have my hands on there correctly, I'm now ready to take my stance. I want to position the ball with an iron about in the middle of my feet. My hands are going to be slightly ahead of the ball, so that the butt end of the club is actually pointing at my left hip here. And you can see, if you draw a line up from the ball, my hands are slightly in front of the ball like this. That is to promote hitting the ball a downward blow when we get into the swing with an iron. To get the iron up in the air, it won't be on a tee. You have to hit a descending blow to elevate the ball. Then my body posture. My body posture is such that I need to bend at two sets of joints. One would be my knees, the other would be my hips. I want to bend a little bit at my knees, but a heck of a lot more at my hips. I will turn around and show that from a side view, just for a second. As you look at me, you can see my knees are slightly flexed, but I'm really bending a lot at my hips, so I'm kind of sticking my butt up in the air like that. My hands are slightly ahead, and the distance they stand away, I just want to have enough freedom to swing by myself when I actually start making my golf swing. So that would be the posture. Again, grip, stance, body posture. I'm going to have Ellen come in here, who has probably never done this before, and I'm going to use her as one of my new students and show her how to get into the address position with an iron. Ellen, I'm going to teach you the address position with an iron here today.
Okay.
And remember, you need to get the right grip, stance, and body posture. Let me put you into those positions, and I know it'll be uncomfortable for you at first, but this is what you need to do in a repetitive way so that you can get into it eventually down the road.
Okay.
When you start playing the game. First thing is you set the club head down behind the ball in a square position. If you back up just a little teeny bit, that's good right there. Then, in taking your grip, put one hand on at a time, first the left hand. Turn the left hand over so the thumb goes down the side of the grip to here.
Okay.
Now you can close up that right hand just temporarily. There's a little V in here, which I drew on my glove, but that little V right there is going to point back at your right shoulder.
Okay.
Then you drop the index finger off just for a second so we can interlock the little finger of the right hand with the forefinger of the left like this. And when you close up your right hand to here, if you notice, keeping that left hand back there, Close up your right hand. That's it. Right to there. Good. Then the thumb of the left fits in the palm of your right, and you shouldn't even see that thumb pointing. You shouldn't see it at all. It should be completely covered there. Once you get in that position, let's take a stance. A stance is about the width of your hips apart with an iron. So I'd widen the stance a little bit. Make sure the ball is positioned in the middle of your feet, like you see here.
Okay.
I'd take just a teeny bit wider, just a little bit. Good. Now I want you to lower your hands to here so you're bending at your hips.
All right.
And the hands go slightly in front of the ball to here. So the butt end of that club is pointing at your left hip out there.
Yes.
Right to there. That's it. A little break in these, just slightly break the knees.
Okay.
Good. That's it. You want to be in balance. So you want to have balance from the front foot to the back foot. So from now on, that left foot will be your front foot. This will be your back foot.
Okay.
And again, this takes time to learn how to do this well. So don't be worried about picking it up right away, because nobody does. This left arm is straight. The elbow is turned facing in the direction you want the ball to go. And there's the position you want to be. A little more break in the knees. That's it. There's the position you want to be in. Feels pretty awkward too, doesn't it?
It sure does.
And you probably feel like you look kind of awkward and funny doing that. You're starting to look like a golfer. So this is a position you want to get in. Remember, the connection for you, the golfer, with the golf ball down there, is through your hands and the club head.
Yep.
So the connection is hands, the club, and the ball down there. Very important you get in this position and practice it. You can practice it at home in the living room, as long as you don't swing. You go right up through the ceiling. So again, that's the position we want to get into. Okay?
Yep. Okay. Thanks, Barry.
I now want to show the address position with a wood. This is kind of a misnomer, as I mentioned before. Woods nowadays are made out of metal. When I was a young boy growing up, and even into my early years as an adult, these were all made out of wood. Now they're made out of metal. So we call them either metal woods or just strictly metals. This particular wood here is my driver. It's the shot that I will use this club when I tee off on the very first hole. So I set the club down behind the ball in a square position. That means I let it lay flat on its sole like this. There is a slight difference between the address position with an iron that I was doing with Ellen and with a wood because of the length of the club. And it's also going to be teed up when we use it. So the first thing is I've got to stand further back. That should be obvious because of the length of the club. Secondly, I need to take a wider stance. The swing actually is going to be a bigger swing because, again, back to the length of the club. So I need to have a little more leverage and balance. So my stance would have to be wider. First thing, however, is the grip. I'm going to go back through that again. Left hand goes on first with the thumb down the side of the grip. And notice I turn my left hand over to here. And that little V that I've drawn on here is pointing back at my right shoulder, or maybe back towards my right hip a little bit here. When I bring my right hand on the grip, I put it on in such a way that I interlock the forefinger of the left with the little finger of the right, and close up my right hand in such a way that the thumb of my left completely disappears, so you can't even see my thumb anymore. It's in the palm of my right hand. Now, because of the length of the club, I need a wider stance. So now when I position my feet, you can see that this white board is setting me up so that I'm positioning the ball in my stance a little closer to my front foot. Because the ball will be teed up every time we use this club, I need to make a sweeping swing. I don't want to hit down on this shot right here. I want to sweep the club underneath it. So I take away the aspect of putting my hands in front of the ball at address. Now I want my hands back even with the ball, just as you see me doing here. Again, left arm is nice and straight. The elbow is facing towards the target. And I've got my hands positioned even with that golf ball. I'm going to have Donna come over here and see if she can get herself into the address position with a wood, quote unquote. Donna,
Yes.
I'm going to show you how to address the ball
Okay.
with a wood this time. And again, I'm going to have to stay in my old position here and call
Okay.
it a wood, okay?
All right.
We want to set the club down behind the ball in a square position here. Once we get the club down in a square position, we need to now, in sequence, take the grip, put our hands on the club so we can go
Okay.
swing it. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. There's the club face square, just laying just behind the ball like that.
Okay.
When you put your left hand on the grip, turn the left hand over to here so the thumb goes down the side of the grip.
Okay.
You can close that index finger up for just a minute. You see the little V that you have
Yep.
here?
Yep.
That little V should be pointing back at your right shoulder.
Okay. Oops.
So you want to turn it over just a little bit more to here,
Okay.
okay?
All right.
That's it. Now, when you bring your right hand on the grip, we're going to take the little finger of the right hand and interlock it with the forefinger of the left, like you see me doing here, and the thumb of the left fits in the palm of the right, just like that, just
Okay.
like a puzzle. Close up this index finger. Perfect. Nice going.
Okay.
Excellent. Don't change it. Keep it right there.
Okay.
That's good. Now, with the club face square, we need to take our stance. That stance should be a little bit wider
Okay.
than your hips this time, and you want to position the whiteboard so it's pointing closer to your front foot than your back foot. So I'd widen the back foot just a teeny bit. That's good.
Okay.
We're going to bend at our hips a little bit. That's it. Left arm is nice and straight. Hands are now going to be even with the ball. You remember with Ellen, our hands were in front of the
Right.
ball to promote hitting down on the ball because we don't use a tee with our irons most of the time.
Right.
So we want to hit it a descending blow. But in this shot here, we're going to make a sweeping swing. We want to get the ball up in the air. So
Okay.
we're going to start with our hands even with the ball, just like that.
Okay.
Little break in those knees. Hands slightly ahead, left arm straight. As you look down at the ball, just slightly turn your head back to the right,
Okay.
like this. So it kind of looks out of the corner of your left eye
Okay.
at the back of the ball right there.
Okay. It's not real comfortable.
Now you look, I know it's not going to be very comfortable at all at first, but if she does this enough time, over and over and over again, it will become really comfortable to you, so you won't know anything different. Remember, the hands connect you to hitting that golf ball down there through the use of a golf club, that instrument that we have in our hands right here. Tell me, how's it feel?
Awkward.
And Ellen found the same thing. She found it very, very awkward to
Right.
do, but once you do this enough times in a repetitive way, let's do this. Take your hands off for a second.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Move your feet. Come in a little closer up
Right.
here. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go back through the address position in sequence.
Okay.
First the grip, then the stance, then the body posture.
Okay.
And you have to use your physical dimensions here as to how far back you have to stand.
Okay.
Okay? There's the club face square.
All right.
Remember, the first hand on is your left hand with the thumb down the side of the grip. So you need to turn the hand all the way over. Good. Right to there.
Okay.
And then the index finger into, good, not bad, beautiful. And the thumb fits in, wonderful. Now what about your stance?
It needs to be a little wider.
Yeah. And the board wants to point a little closer to your front foot, which is
Right.
going to be your left foot.
Okay.
Pretty good. I'll
bend
go
my
a
knees
little
a little.
teeny bit wider with that back foot.
Okay.
Good. Then you want your hands even with the ball, not ahead. Little break in those knees. Just slightly cock the head back to the right.
Okay.
You're starting to look
There I
like
am.
a golfer. I'm pretty proud of you. She's getting it. So what did you ladies think about that? That's a little uncomfortable to get in those positions, isn't it?
Well, it was really fun, and now I know exactly what to do, but doing it next time will be a challenge.
It's a little awkward.
It is awkward.
After all that, you have to hit the ball. So.
What part do you think was the most awkward? I could predict, but think about it.
Getting
I'd say the grip.
fingers in the right
Yes, the
position.
grip,
It
That's
just doesn't
right.
feel
And yet
natural.
that's the most critical part
Right.
Right.
of the address position.
Uh-huh.
So if you practice it, you can do it at home. Because I pass out clubs to people that come to the golf schools, and they keep one through the lessons, so you can practice right at home without swinging, of course.
Oh, that's great.
Right.
Yeah. So Barry, you've been golfing for a long time.
Yeah. a long time.
Yeah, tell us about what you've done.
Well, I played a lot of junior golf, a lot of father and son tournaments, with some success. I played high school and college golf with my brother on the teams. He was a year in front of me. I was All-American at Tufts University back in the 1960s for a couple of years.
All-American. Yeah.
And I won the prestigious Massachusetts State Amateur Championship in 1967.
Oh, good for
Through
you.
the PGA, of which I've been a member for a number of years, I was the Teacher of the Year through the New England PGA. I also was in Golf Magazine. I was voted one of the 100 best teachers in the country.
Wow.
I also won some awards on junior golf in promoting junior golf, and then in promoting the game of golf through the PGA, which is what we do, and that's my passion. I won an award. I won the President's Award for promoting the game of golf. I think that was in 2012, somewhere in there.
Wow, that's great.
So again, my playing days are pretty much over, and I don't play. I play a lot, and I can still play, but I'm so busy teaching and doing what I really love to do that I'm teaching a lot of golf over the years. Oh, by the way, I do have another location. It's down at Wentworth Hills Country Club in Plainville, Mass.
Oh.
It's very close to the Wentham outlets, which I'm sure everybody's
yes,
pretty. I
sure.
figured as much. You'd be pretty familiar with those. So, those are the things that I've done in the past and everything.
Well, you touched upon the junior
Yes.
golfers, and that's one of the programs we offer at Rodenbush.
Right.
So that'll be great to get some kids down there this
Yes,
spring.
every year we have, for a number of years, going back into the late 80s and into the 90s and up to the present, we have about 300 to 400 kids come to those lessons
Nice.
every
Wow,
year,
really?
which is fantastic. Those are the advantages I had when I was a kid growing up. And their parents come and watch, and I'm finding a lot of parents that would like to get in the game of golf because their kids are playing.
Yeah.
Right?
When I was a kid, my brother and I were introduced by our parents. It's kind of reversed. Now the kids that are really interested in golf, they're getting their parents to play, which is kind of nice to
that's
see.
great.
That is cool.
That's nice. Next time we will learn about the basics of the golf swing. Barry has graciously accepted our invitation to come back to give us a few more lessons. So we'll be learning about the backswing, the downswing, and the follow-through.
I'm also planning on doing a lesson on chipping and putting. We got a wonderful studio here that we can do that in. In fact,
Here
we
at
can
Pebble
putt
Beach.
the Pebble Beach over here. And also, I'm going to do one on golf etiquette,
Oh, great.
which is
Very good.
important for new golfers because they could do things that they didn't realize was considered to be discourteous or disrespectful, and they wouldn't really know
just
unless
didn't
they
know.
were taught
Yeah,
that. So that's what I'm planning on doing here. I think it would be great. I've lived in the town of Westford for 48 years. My wife and I moved up here,
Wow.
raised our family here. I have a little granddaughter that is planning on taking lessons. She's 5.
Oh,
Her name
nice.
is Emma, so she's going to get in those programs
Right.
from
Great.
the Rodenbush. So
Great.
Good.
Yeah.
it's just a really fun thing, and I do most of my lessons at the Country Club of Billerica.
Perfect.
And we're pleased to have you.
Thank you for having me.
So until next time, see you around Rodenbush.